Weird signals. It was a normal Tuesday at the Big Ear Radio Observatory. Dr. Sarah Lee sat at her desk, sipping her third cup of coffee. Her eyes were glued to the computer screen, watching the usual space noise. Suddenly, something weird popped up. "What the heck?" Sarah muttered, leaning closer. The screen showed a pattern she had never seen before. It wasn't random. It looked smart, like someone was sending a message. Sarah called her boss, Dr. Tom Wilson. "Tom, you need to see this." Tom rushed over. His eyes went wide when he saw the screen. "Is this for real?" "I think so," Sarah said. "It's not like anything we've seen before." They watched for hours. The signal kept coming. It wasn't from Earth. It wasn't from any satellites. It was from deep space. Word spread fast. Soon, the observatory was full of excited scientists. They all agreed this was big. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., President Jane Addams got a call. "Madam President, we got something you need to see," said her aide. President Addams looked at the report. Her face turned serious. "Call a meeting. Now." In a secret room under the White House, world leaders gathered. Some were there in person, others joined by video. They all looked worried. "Ladies and gentlemen," President Addams said, "we've received a signal from space. We think it's aliens." The room exploded with voices. Some leaders wanted to tell everyone. Others said to keep it secret. "If we tell people, there might be panic," said the French president. "But if we don't, and they find out, they'll never trust us again," argued the Canadian Prime Minister. As they argued, something big happened. At the International Space Station, astronaut Mike Chen was taking pictures of Earth. Suddenly, his camera caught something weird. "Houston, we got a situation here," Mike radioed. A massive ship appeared out of nowhere. It was bigger than anything humans had ever built. It moved towards Earth. Back on the ground, radar operators freaked out. "Sir, there's something huge in orbit," a young operator yelled to his boss. Within minutes, every TV channel, radio station, and website was talking about it. Cell phones buzzed with alerts. Social media went crazy. The secret was out. Aliens were here. In New York, people poured into Times Square, looking up at the big screens. In Tokyo, crowds gathered in the streets, pointing at the sky. In a small village in Africa, people huddled around the only TV, watching in awe. Some people were excited. "Finally, we're not alone," they cheered. Others were scared. "What if they want to hurt us?" they worried. Churches, mosques, and temples filled up with people praying. Some folks built bunkers in their backyards. Others threw welcome aliens parties. Scientists tried to talk to the ship. They sent radio messages, light signals, even tweets. But the ship stayed quiet. For 3 days, the whole world held its breath. Everyone wondered, what would the aliens do? Then, on the 4th day, something changed. The ship started to move. It came closer to Earth. World leaders met again. They had to decide, should they attack, try to talk, or wait and see? As they talked, the ship entered Earth's atmosphere. It was heading for New York City. In New York, people ran. Some tried to leave the city. Others hid in buildings. Police and firefighters worked to keep everyone calm. The ship stopped right over Central Park. It was so big, it covered the whole park in shadow. For a long moment, nothing happened. The world watched on TV, waiting. Then, with a loud hiss, a door opened on the ship. A ramp came down. Out walked the first alien anyone on Earth had ever seen. It looked weird, not like in the movies at all. The alien held up its hands, or what looked like hands. It spoke. Somehow, everyone could understand. "People of Earth," it said, "we come in peace. We are the Galactic Empire, and we have an offer for you." The story of Earth was about to change forever. The question was, would it be for better or for worse? Space bullies arrive. The alien stood in Central Park, surrounded by scared humans. News cameras zoomed in on its weird face. It had 3 eyes and blue skin. Its voice boomed through the air. "I am Zorg, leader of the Galactic Empire," it said. "We rule 10,000 planets. Now we want Earth to join us." People gasped. Join an alien empire? Was this good or bad? Zorg continued. "If you join, we'll give you cool tech. You can visit other planets, but you must follow our rules." The alien pulled out a tablet. On the screen, a list of rules appeared. Rule 1. Earth must pay taxes to the Empire. Rule 2. Humans can't leave Earth without permission. Rule 3. The Empire's word is final in all big decisions. People didn't like these rules. They sounded mean, like the aliens were bullies. President Adams stepped forward. She looked brave, but her hands shook a little. "Mr. Zorg," she said, "we need time to think about this. Can you give us a week?" Zorg's 3 eyes blinked. "You have 3 days," he growled. Then he went back to his ship. For the next 3 days, Earth was crazy busy. In Washington, world leaders met again. They argued day and night. "We should join," said some. "Their tech could solve our problems." "No way," said others. "We'll lose our freedom." In London, scientists studied the alien ship. They tried to figure out how it worked. "Their tech is amazing," said Dr. Emily Wong, "but also scary. They could easily destroy us." In Moscow, generals planned for war. "Just in case. If they attack, we must be ready," said General Ivan Petrov. In a small town in Brazil, a young girl named Maria had an idea. She made a video. "Dear aliens," she said, "Earth isn't perfect, but it's our home. Please be nice to us." The video went viral. Millions of people shared it. Even the aliens watched it. On the 3rd day, Zorg came out again. This time, he looked angry. "Humans," he boomed, "your time is up. What is your answer?" President Adams stepped forward again. She took a deep breath. "Mr. Zorg," she said, "Earth has decided. We reject your offer." Gasps filled the air. Zorg's face turned dark blue with anger. "You dare reject us?" he yelled. "Do you know what happens to planets that say no?" Suddenly, the sky filled with more alien ships. They looked like angry hornets, ready to sting. "This is your last chance," Zorg said. "Join us, or face our wrath." People around the world held their breath. What would happen now? Then something amazing happened. In New York, a group of kids stepped forward. They held up signs. The signs said, "Earth is our home. Please leave us alone." In Paris, people formed a human chain around the Eiffel Tower. They sang songs of peace. In Tokyo, millions of people bowed together, showing respect but also strength. All over the world, humans stood united. They weren't giving up their planet. Zorg looked confused. He had conquered many worlds, but never seen this before. "You all feel this way?" he asked. President Adams nodded. "We do. Earth may not be perfect, but it's ours. We won't give it up." For a long moment, Zorg was quiet. Then he laughed. It sounded like rocks in a blender. "Interesting," he said. "Very interesting. You humans are different." He turned to his ships. "We'll be back," he said. "You have 1 Earth month to reconsider. If you still say no, there will be consequences." With that, Zorg and his ships zoomed away. They vanished into space like they'd never been there. On Earth, people cheered. They had stood up to the space bullies, but their joy didn't last long. They knew the aliens would be back, and next time, they might not be so nice. President Adams called another meeting. "We have 1 month," she said. "We need to get ready." Around the world, humans began to prepare. They built new weapons. They made emergency plans. They trained for space battles. But most importantly, they stayed united. Rich or poor, black or white, Everyone worked together. Earth was facing its biggest challenge ever. The countdown had begun. In 30 days, the space bullies would return. Would Earth be ready? Only time would tell. As night fell, people looked up at the stars. They seemed different now. Not just pretty lights, but a big, scary universe full of unknown dangers. But also, maybe full of new friends. Somewhere out there, maybe other aliens would help Earth. The next month would change everything. Earth's story was just beginning. Humanity's defiance. The clock was ticking. Earth had only 30 days before the aliens came back. Every second counted. In a secret lab under the Alps, Dr. Emily Wong worked day and night. She and her team were studying a piece of alien tech left behind. "Look at this," Emily shouted one day. "Their ships use some kind of energy we've never seen before." Her discovery was big news. If humans could understand this energy, maybe they could fight back. Meanwhile, in a military base in Texas, soldiers trained hard. They learned to use new weapons designed to fight aliens. "Again," shouted Sergeant Mike Chen. "We need to be faster, stronger, better." The soldiers were tired, but they didn't give up. Earth's future depended on them. In Silicon Valley, tech companies worked together for the first time. They were building a global defense system. "If we can predict where the aliens will attack," said CEO Sarah Lee, "we might have a chance." Governments around the world shared information. Old enemies became friends. Everyone knew they had to work together to survive. But not everyone agreed on what to do. In New York, the UN held an emergency meeting. Leaders from every country came. "We should surrender," said one leader. "The aliens are too strong." "No," shouted another. "We must fight for our freedom." The arguments got heated. People were scared. Then a surprise guest arrived. It was Maria, the girl from Brazil who made the viral video. "Please," she said, her voice shaking, "stop fighting each other. We need to stand together." The room went quiet. Maria's words touched everyone's hearts. President Adams stood up. "The young lady is right," she said. "United we stand. Divided we fall." From that day on, Earth worked as one team. Scientists shared their findings. Soldiers trained together. Regular people learned emergency skills. But it wasn't all about fighting. Humans also prepared for peace. Artists created beautiful messages of friendship. Musicians composed songs of hope. These were broadcast into space, hoping the aliens would listen. As the days passed, Earth changed. Cities built underground shelters. Farms stored extra food. Schools taught kids what to do if aliens attacked. People were scared, but also brave. They helped each other. Neighbors became friends. Communities grew stronger. With 1 week left, something amazing happened. Dr. Wong's team made a breakthrough. They found a way to detect the aliens' energy signals. "We can see them coming now," Emily said, her eyes shining. "We're not blind anymore." The news spread hope around the world. Humans had a chance. But then, 3 days before the deadline, the sky lit up. Thousands of alien ships appeared, way more than last time. They filled the sky like angry stars. Zorg's face appeared on screens worldwide. He looked meaner than ever. "Humans," he growled. "Your time is up. What is your answer?" Hearts raced. Palms sweated. This was the moment of truth. President Adams stepped forward. She stood tall, her voice strong. "Zorg," she said, "humanity has an answer for you." The world held its breath. "Our answer is this: Earth is not for sale. We will not join your empire. We choose freedom." Cheers erupted around the globe. In cities and villages, even in space stations, humans celebrated. Zorg's face turned dark with anger. "You fool," he roared. "You've doomed your people." But President Adams wasn't finished. "We know we're smaller than you," she said. "We know you're stronger, but we will fight. Every mountain, every ocean, Every grain of sand on Earth will resist you. She paused, then spoke again, her voice softer but still firm. But it doesn't have to be this way, Zorg. We don't want war. We want peace. We're ready to talk, to trade, to learn from each other, as equals, not as masters and slaves. For a moment, Zorg looked surprised. Then he laughed his scary laugh. Brave words, he said, but words won't save you. Prepare for war, humans. We attack at dawn. The screens went dark. Silence fell over Earth. Then, slowly, the silence was broken. By songs, by cheers, by words of courage. Humans weren't giving up. They were standing together, ready to face whatever came next. In her lab, Dr. Wong worked faster than ever. We've got one more night, she said. Let's make it count. In Texas, Sergeant Chen loaded his new weapon. For Earth, he whispered. And in Brazil, young Maria looked up at the sky. We are strong, she said. We are brave. We are human. As night fell, Earth prepared for the biggest fight in its history. Tomorrow would decide the fate of humanity. But win or lose, humans would face it together. United, defiant, free. Big space fight. The sun rose on the most important day in Earth's history. The alien ships hung in the sky like dark clouds. Everyone knew the fight was about to start. In New York, President Adams stood in a secret bunker. Screens showed her the whole world. Are we ready? She asked. As ready as we can be, said General Patel. He pointed to a map. We have ships and weapons all over the planet. Suddenly, alarms started ringing. On the screens, the alien ships began to move. It's starting, someone whispered. The first alien shots hit major cities. Big laser beams came down from the sky. Buildings exploded. People ran for safety. But Earth wasn't helpless. Dr. Wong's new tech worked. Earth's defenses saw the attacks coming. Shields up, shouted commanders around the world. Big energy bubbles appeared over cities. Some alien shots bounced off. In space, Earth's new ships flew up to meet the aliens. They were smaller but faster. Sergeant Chen led one of these ships. Remember your training. He told his team. We can do this. The space battle was like a giant fireworks show. Lights flashed everywhere, but these lights were deadly. On the ground, things were just as crazy. Alien ships landed in many places. Soldiers fought them with new weapons. In London, a big alien walker stomped through the streets. It shot lasers from its eyes. Things looked bad. Then, a brave group of kids had an idea. They used mirrors to reflect the aliens' lasers back at it. The walker got confused and fell down. Great job, their teacher cheered. That's using your brains. In Tokyo, huge robots defended the city. Japanese engineers had built them in secret. The robots punched alien ships out of the sky. For Earth, the robot pilots shouted. But it wasn't all good news. The aliens were strong. They destroyed many cities. Millions of people had to run away. In Rio de Janeiro, Maria and her family hid in a shelter. They could hear the fighting outside. I'm scared, Maria said. Me too, said her mom. But remember, the whole Earth is fighting together. We have hope. The battle raged for hours. Both sides lost many ships. The sky was full of smoke and fire. Then something amazing happened. Dr. Wong made another discovery. The alien ships are all connected, she said. If we can shut down the main ship, we might stop them all. This news spread fast. Earth's forces focused on finding the alien leader, Zorg. High above Earth, Sergeant Chen spotted Zorg's ship. It was huge and scary looking. This is our chance, Chen told his team. We have to take it down. They flew towards the big ship. Alien fighters chased them. It was like flying through a storm of lasers. Many of Chen's team got hit, but they didn't give up. They got closer and closer to Zorg's ship. On Earth, everyone watched and hoped. This could change everything. Chen's ship was almost destroyed. Alarms were ringing. Smoke filled the cabin. But they had one chance left. "Fire everything we've got," Chen shouted. Their last missiles hit Zorg's ship in a weak spot. There was a huge explosion. For a moment, everything seemed to stop. Then, all the alien ships started to fall. "They're going down." People cheered. "We did it." But the fight wasn't over. Falling ships were dangerous too. Earth's defenses worked hard to protect people. As the dust settled, everyone held their breath. Was it really over? Then, a message came from space. It was Zorg. He looked beat up but still angry. "This isn't the end, humans," he growled. "We'll be back." His ship turned and zoomed away. The other aliens followed. On Earth, people came out of hiding. They looked at the sky, now empty of alien ships. Cheers started, first in small groups, then whole cities. Soon, the entire planet was celebrating. Humans had faced the biggest threat ever, and they had won. But everyone knew Zorg's words were true. The aliens might come back. Earth had to be ready. For now, though, it was time to celebrate, to help those hurt in the fight, to rebuild. As the sun set on this historic day, Earth was different. Humans had proved they were strong, brave, and smart. Whatever came next, they would face it together, as one Earth, as one human family. In New York, President Adams smiled. "We did it," she said, "but our journey is just beginning." And somewhere in space, Zorg nursed his wounds and plotted his revenge. The story of Earth and the Galactic Empire was far from over, turning the tables. The big space fight was over, but Earth's work was just starting. People everywhere were cleaning up and rebuilding, but they were also getting ready for the future. In a secret lab under the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Emily Wong stood in front of a weird-looking machine. It was made from parts of a crashed alien ship. "Okay, team," she said to the scientists around her. "Let's try this again." They turned on the machine. It hummed and glowed. Suddenly, a small object floated in the air. "We did it," shouted Dr. Wong. "We've figured out how their anti-gravity works." This was big news. If humans could make things float like alien ships, they could build better defenses, maybe even make their own space fleet. Meanwhile, in a military base in Australia, Sergeant Chen was teaching soldiers how to use new weapons. These guns looked like normal rifles, but they shot energy beams like alien weapons. "Remember," Chen said, "these are way more powerful than our old guns. Be careful." A young soldier raised her hand. "Sir, do you think we'll really need these? The aliens are gone." Chen's face got serious. "They'll be back. And next time, we'll be ready for them." In Washington, D.C., President Adams met with leaders from around the world. They all looked tired but determined. "We won the battle," Adams said. "But the war isn't over. We need to work together more than ever." They made big plans. Every country would share their technology. They would build a global defense system. And they would explore space together. "It's time for humans to reach for the stars," said the leader of India. Everyone agreed. But not everything was about fighting. Humans had learned a lot from the alien attack. They started using this knowledge to make life better. In Africa, they used alien tech to make machines that turned desert sand into fertile soil. Farmers could grow food in places that were once too dry. "It's like magic," said a farmer in Kenya, looking at his green fields. "But it's science." In the oceans, scientists built underwater cities using alien materials. These cities could help solve Earth's population problems. "We're not just defending our world," said an ocean scientist. "We're making it better." Even kids were helping. Schools started teaching alien science classes. Students came up with amazing ideas. In Japan, a group of teenagers invented a new kind of computer using alien tech. It was 100 times faster than anything before. "Imagine what we can learn with these," said their teacher, looking proud. But Earth's leaders knew they couldn't just wait for the aliens to come back. They had to take action. In a top-secret meeting, President Adams announced a bold plan. "We're going to build our own space fleet," she said. "And then we're going to find the Galactic Empire." The room was silent for a moment. Then everyone started talking at once. It was a big, dangerous idea. "We can't just wait here like sitting ducks," Adams said. "We need to show the universe that humans are a force to be reckoned with." Work started right away. All over the world, huge shipyards were built. Day and night, people worked to make Earth's first real spaceships. These ships were amazing. They used all the new tech humans had learned. They could fly faster than light, just like alien ships. The first ship was ready in record time. It was called the HFY Hope, Human Starship Hope. On launch day, millions of people watched as Hope rose into the sky. It carried Earth's best pilots, scientists, and diplomats. "Go find us some friends out there," President Adams said as she waved goodbye. As Hope disappeared into space, humans everywhere felt excited and scared. What would they find out there? More enemies? Or maybe some friends? Back in his lab, Dr. Wong looked at the stars through a window. "The universe is so big," she said. "I hope we're ready for it." In Australia, Sergeant Chen watched the launch on TV. "Good luck up there," he whispered. "We'll keep things safe down here." And in Brazil, Maria, now a bit older, made a new video. "Dear universe," she said, "Earth is coming to say hello. We come in peace, but we're not pushovers." As the video went viral, humans everywhere nodded in agreement. They had faced their biggest challenge and grown stronger. Now, they were ready to turn the tables. Earth wasn't just defending anymore. It was reaching out. The next chapter in human history had begun, and it was going to be out of this world. The galactic community's intervention. The HSS Hope had been in space for 3 months. Captain Maria Rodriguez, yes, the same Maria who made those videos, looked out at the stars. She still couldn't believe she was here. "Captain, we're picking up a signal," said her science officer, Dr. Lee. Maria's heart raced. Was it the Galactic Empire, or something new? Suddenly, a huge ship appeared. It was nothing like they'd ever seen. It was beautiful, like a giant space flower. A voice came through their speakers. It spoke in perfect English. "Greetings, humans of Earth. We are the Galactic Council. We've been watching you." Maria and her crew looked at each other, shocked. There was more out there than just the Empire. The voice continued. "Your bravery against the Empire impressed us. We'd like to meet." Maria took a deep breath. This was big. "We'd be honored," she said. The Hope followed the council ship to an amazing space station. It was like a city floating in space. Inside, Maria and her team met aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some looked like giant jellyfish. Others were made of light. "Welcome to Galactic Central," said a tall, wise-looking alien. "I'm High Counselor Zix." Zix explained that the Galactic Council kept peace in the universe. They had many member species, but some, like the Empire, caused trouble. "We've called an emergency meeting about Earth," Zix said. "The whole galaxy is talking about how you stood up to the Empire." In a huge room, aliens from 1,000 worlds gathered. Maria told Earth's story, how they fought back, how they wanted peace, but wouldn't be bullied. The room buzzed with excited alien voices. Many were impressed. Some were scared of how fast humans had grown. Then, an angry voice boomed. "The humans are dangerous. We should stop them now." It was Zorg. The Empire leader was here too. Zorg stomped to the center of the room. "These humans defeated my best ships. If we don't crush them, they'll take over the galaxy." The room got loud. Some aliens agreed with Zorg. Others defended Earth. Maria stood up. The room got quiet. "Yes, we fought back," she said. "But we don't want war. We want to learn, to explore, to make friends. We're not perfect, but we're trying to be better." She looked at all the aliens. "Give us a chance. We might surprise you." The council talked for hours. Maria and her crew waited nervously. Finally, Zix came out. "We've made a decision," he said. The council had a deal. Earth would get a trial membership in the galactic community. They could learn from other species, trade with them, and explore the galaxy. But there were rules. Earth couldn't attack other worlds. They had to share their technology, and they had to help keep galactic peace. "Do you accept?" Zix asked. Maria smiled. "Earth would be honored," she said. But Zorg wasn't happy. "This isn't over," he shouted. "The Empire doesn't recognize this decision." Zix turned to Zorg, suddenly looking very powerful. "The Council has spoken," he said. "Earth is under our protection now. Leave them alone, or face the consequences." Zorg growled, but he backed down. He knew he couldn't fight the whole Council. As Zorg left, Maria felt both relieved and worried. The Empire was still a threat, but now Earth had powerful friends. Zix turned back to Maria. "Now let's call your leaders. We have much to discuss." On Earth, President Adams got the call. She could hardly believe what she was hearing. "We're part of a galactic community now?" she asked, amazed. "Yes, Madam President," Maria said. "And they're ready to welcome us." All over Earth, the news spread. People cheered, cried, and hugged each other. They weren't alone in the universe, and they had been accepted. Schools started teaching about alien cultures. Scientists got excited about new discoveries. People looked at the stars with new wonder. But Earth's leaders knew they still had work to do. They had to prove they deserved this chance. "We've got a big job ahead," President Adams told the world. "Let's show the galaxy what humans can do." As the HSS Hope prepared to return home, Maria looked out at the space station. She thought about all the amazing things they'd learned and all the adventures to come. "Earth's next chapter is going to be incredible," she said to her crew. "And we're just getting started." The Hope fired up its engines. It was time to go home and share their amazing news. Earth's galactic adventure was just beginning. Earth triumphant. 5 years had passed since Earth joined the galactic community. The planet had changed in ways no one could have imagined. In New York, the old UN building now had a new neighbor, a massive structure that looked like a mix of crystal and light. This was the Earth Embassy, where aliens from across the galaxy came to visit. Inside, President Maria Rodriguez, yes, the same Maria, was giving a tour to a group of jellyfish-like aliens. "And this is where we hold our cultural exchange programs," she said, pointing to a holographic display of Earth's art and music. One of the aliens wiggled its tentacles excitedly. "Your planet's creativity is truly remarkable," it said through a translator. Maria smiled. She remembered when she was just a girl making videos about aliens. Now she was Earth's leader, talking to real aliens every day. Meanwhile, in orbit above Earth, a huge space station floated. It was called Unity, and it was Earth's gateway to the stars. On Unity's main deck, Dr. Emily Wong was teaching a class. But her students weren't just human. There were aliens of all shapes and sizes. "Today we'll learn about Earth's gravity technology," Emily said. She pressed a button, and everyone in the room started floating. The alien students laughed and spun around. They were having fun, but they were also learning. Earth's tech was now famous across the galaxy. Back on the ground, in a small town in Africa, a young boy named Quaim was playing with his best friend, who happened to be a small furry alien from a planet called Zorp. "Let's go to the Holo Park," Quaim said. His alien friend chirped happily. They ran to the town square, where a big machine created a magical playground made of light. Kids from Earth and other planets played together, learning about each other's cultures. This scene was common all over Earth now. Humans and aliens lived side by side, sharing knowledge and friendship. But not everything was perfect. In a secret base on Mars, General Chen, remember him, was meeting with Earth's Defense Council. The Empire is still out there, Chen said, pointing to a star map. We need to stay alert. The council nodded. Earth was peaceful now, but they hadn't forgotten the lessons from their first alien encounter. Suddenly, alarms started blaring. A fleet of ships had appeared near Jupiter. Everyone held their breath. Was it the Empire? Had Zorg come back for revenge? The ships came closer. They were huge and scary looking. Earth's defenses got ready for a fight. Then, a message came through. It was from the lead ship, and the voice was familiar. "This is High Counselor Zix of the Galactic Council," the voice said. "Earth, you are in grave danger. The Empire has broken our laws. They're coming for you, with everything they have." President Maria's face turned serious. "How long do we have?" she asked. "They'll be here in 3 days," Zix replied. "But don't worry, you're not alone this time." As Zix's fleet came into view, everyone gasped. Hundreds of ships from different alien races were with him. The whole galactic community had come to help Earth. For the next 3 days, Earth was busier than ever. Humans and aliens worked together, getting ready for the big fight. Finally, the day came. The Empire's ships filled the sky, more than anyone had ever seen. Zorg's face appeared on screens all over Earth. He looked angrier than ever. "Foolish humans," he shouted. "You think your new friends can save you. We'll destroy you all." But President Maria wasn't scared. She stood tall and spoke to the whole planet. "People of Earth, and our friends from the stars," she said, "we've come so far. We've learned, grown, and made amazing friends. Today, we stand together against bullies who want to rule by fear. But we're stronger than fear. We have something better: hope, friendship, and the power of working together. Let's show the Empire what that means." Cheers erupted from every corner of Earth and from ships all around the planet. The battle that followed was like nothing anyone had ever seen. Empire ships fought against Earth and its allies. The sky lit up with lasers and explosions. But this time was different. Earth wasn't alone. Alien ships flew alongside human pilots. On the ground, humans and aliens worked together to protect cities. It was tough. Both sides lost ships. Some cities were damaged. But slowly, surely, the good guys started winning. Then something amazing happened. A group of Empire ships suddenly turned and started firing on their own side. "This is Captain Clix of the Empire fleet," a new voice said. "We've had enough of Zorg's cruel ways. We stand with Earth." With this unexpected help, the tide turned. Zorg's forces were pushed back further and further. Finally, Zorg's main ship was surrounded. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then Zorg's angry voice came through one last time. "This isn't over, Earth. I'll be back." His ship zoomed away into deep space, disappearing in a flash of light. The battle was over. Earth had won. Again. But this time, they had help from the whole galaxy. As the sun set on this amazing day, humans and aliens celebrated together. They had faced a great threat and come out stronger. President Maria looked up at the stars, twinkling peacefully now. "We did it," she said softly. "Earth isn't just a planet anymore. It's a shining example for the whole galaxy." And so, Earth's greatest adventure continued. No longer alone, no longer afraid, but a proud and important part of a big, wonderful galactic family.